Hello and welcome back to my calligraphy series. This is part 5 where I'll be doing the Roman capitals. As I said earlier, this episode is just going to add the serifs right away instead of doing it in 2 episodes like I did with the italics. Here I have the 15-degree pen angle. Roman capitals also have 15-degree pen angle. There's lots of differences between the Roman capitals and the italic capitals, but perhaps one of the main ones is they are instead written straight, not at that 5-degree angle anymore. You might see something like this, whereas an italic capital is slanted. Not quite that much. These letters also feel much bolder or squarer, and one of the main differences, which I'm not going to be able to capture with this small pen, is the serifs. The serifs are just slightly different, which is why I have a slightly larger pen. It's a Pilot parallel pen, 6mm nib. So I'm going to be using that to show the serifs, and this just to show the letters. Alright, so there are going to be a couple main strokes here. One of them is that there. From the cap line down, and you knife right. So you knife right here, come down, and knife right here. And then from there you can do different things. There's a D, or what should be a D. And then there are a few other strokes, but this is one of the big ones that you'll see a lot, and then the serif strokes have their own little category. Okay, let's start with A. A is in the 4/5 width group, and you want to remember those width groups. They're going to help you write a lot. They're going to keep the letters proportional. Once you know your width groups, the letters will flow out easier, making the serifs so much easier to add if you're not thinking about how to write the letters constantly. Like in italic, you can steepen your pen angle for this first stroke a bit if you would like. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use the corner of our pen, and we're going to do this motion. Let me see if I can actually get some ink. Like that, just down here, in a slightly smaller scale. So we're going to come out, create this slab, and come up to make these corners rounded. That's one of the characteristics of Roman capitals. You're going to see these slightly rounded serifs. Then you're going to get your almost flat pen angle here, and just come over to flatten it and create a little serif and come across. Then start from over here and come up. Now you want to make sure that you're not making these lines come down too far, otherwise they'll stick beyond the serif. And that obviously is not exactly what you want. And then, of course, add the crossbar slightly below the midline. Let me show you a little better with the big pen. You come down, and then you use the corner of your pen, just like this, switch to 15, create the slab and go like that. And then over here, what you're doing is coming down at almost a flat pen angle, and then coming from over here with the corner of your pen again, creating the slab, and creating that little smooth on the right and left. Now this slab here is just like that. So when you're on the bottom and you're creating a slab on the bottom, you're going to see a thin here and then a thick edge here. And when you're on the top, it's going to be the other way, bent the other way. You're going to see a thick line here and a thin line here at the end. So it's kind of like italic capitals. You probably don't need to bend the serifs as much though. Okay, B. Go ahead and start it off with that stroke that you saw on D earlier. Just knife over, come straight down if you can help it, not slanted. Knife to the right. And then with B, we're just going to use the corner of our pen, run across, and come up a little for meeting it later. Then come back up. You can dip it down and come up, give it a little bit of a shoulder there if you want. Once you're here at the midpoint, you stop, come across, and connect. My pen is running low on ink and then giving out too much, so these letters aren't the cleanest. So I'll try it again. Alright, so this is in the 1/2 width group. So this is a good B, except it's too wide. It really should only be about this wide. this is how you end up with a large, long middle bar just out here by itself. It looks very blocky. It doesn't look very nice at all. C is in the one-to-one width group. It's as wide as it is tall. And the main difference about C is you're going to see it's much squarer. Create that little serif. You just twist your pen like that. Then back to 15 degrees, come down, and keep this down here, and keep that up there. You want it to be very square, not too square. You still want it to be a C, but squarer than the italic. I'll show you that little serif there. You're coming across, then you turn your pen quickly and come down. Like that. And if you do it, the quicker you do it, the nicer it'll come out. You can always start slow and then speed it up as you get better at it. D, you've seen it already. Start with that stroke where you knife and knife. Come down, across, up. Keep it square. This is not wide enough here. It's in the one-to-one width group again. It's a little better. I would recommend practicing these capitals with a big pen at first. You can see your mistakes a lot better. It's a lot more obvious to see that this isn't quite perfect than to see, oh, I think it's not quite perfect, but it's way smaller, you know? So use a big pen when you start, and once you start to learn them, then you can move down to a smaller size. E is in the half width group. You're going to start with that stroke you see on B and D. Bottom line, curve up a bit, and keep this square. Add that serif, and then you can optionally add this serif here. I like doing it, but you can do whatever you want. F is similar to E, only at the bottom, you add a slab instead. Let me try that again without talking. And then make sure this second one is below the midline because you have a lot of white space down here that you need to fill. G, one-to-one width group, it's one of the blockier letters. It's also one of the letters that are very similar when you're using a small pen. It looks almost the same. You're just going to make it slightly square. Get sharp. Then keep this low. Then add that slab. And this is the first time you're going to see it so far. So what I did there, also, this is too flat, so make it a little curve. This here, curve it a little more. What I did there was I created the slab. I created the slab there, and you can see it here. Then I came over here with 15-degree pen angle and curved it twice, and then made the line. So here you have a curving. So it's like curved versus if you only came down, it's much more blocky. This is the italic capitals. This is the Roman capitals. H, 4/5 width group. It's also a very simple letter. You're just going to be utilizing this a lot. Create slab number 1. 2 strokes, join them. Knife to the right. Come down. Create the slab. Use this system sort of where you come down and just slab. Okay? Below the line. The midline. Join them. Knife to the right. Create the slab. It's very similar to italic capitals. But you can see, especially on a bigger pen size, that these are curved slightly. Try to keep your serif straighter. You can see that it's kind of curving up here and then curving down there or whatever. Try and keep them straighter, slightly concave toward the center. Just straight though. Then you're gonna knife across. Do what you did on K. Come down, knife right, and finish the slab. It's exactly the same as just one of these bars if you just did this. So just do that for I. J is a simpler letter. Do the slab together. Make that a little thicker. There. So you just have the one slab. K is one of the hardest letters again. I just did the two slabs, and you join them like you do on I, and then you're gonna have the same or a very similar serif to what you did in italic. Let me do it with a big pen so you can see better. You're gonna start probably a little more to the left here. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna do 0-degree pen angle. And right at this line, you're just gonna go like that, curve it. So you have a curved inside here. And then you do a straight stroke, but you don't curve it. So roughly it's this. So you have a curved inside and a sharp outside. You do those two strokes combined. And then 15-degree pen angle, come. I did it too far away. You just barely touch the main stroke and then flatten your pen angle. Let's do K one more time. So this maybe was too extreme with the counters. K is one of the hardest letters, and I do not have it quite perfect. L is also a simple letter, compared to K at least. I'm gonna join the two edges of the serif, knife right, start from the center, curve left, and then just swoop over and come up. It's a very nice L. Okay, we have M. Again, M is one of the more difficult letters in both capitals. 15-degree pen angle. You're going to come down slightly curved to the left. And don't go too far down. I did. And then you're going to do what you did on A here. So you're going to come down with the corner of your pen, flatten out, add your serif, and come up with the corner of your pen. So let's see if I can do that. You can always start down here a bit, but you want to keep this straight, okay? Go ahead and use the corner of your pen there. All right, I ran out of ink. Go ahead and use the corner of your pen on both sides. Then flat pen angle like you did on A at the top here, you're just gonna start to the right, create that little serif there, come down. My M is not symmetrical here. You wanna make this nice and big, that was good, but I curved this one to the left too much and this one not enough. And then here you're just gonna, at the end of your stroke, you're gonna curve right like you do on a lot of letters and then finish it off. Let's try M without talking. N is slightly nicer to do. Oops, I did N wrong. Let's try it again. So you're going to come down with a steep pen angle. Corner of your pen, create a slab across and come up with the corner of your pen like you do on A and M. Then with a flat stroke, come across and then you turn sharply up there. Come down diagonally and use the corner of your pen. When you do your serifs, you don't have to, but it's a lot easier to do your slab than to join them, right? Than to go down. Well, when you're coming down, that means you have to place your slab perfectly. So to know where you want to place it, you can line up your pen. Don't actually draw anything here. There's the center of the slab. So then you create a slab off that point, join it, and use the corner of your pen. And of course, steepen this stroke, which I didn't do. P, you're going to start with your stroke you see on D and E. Knife right, and then create that slab down there. Then start over here. It's not a very good P. Let me try it again. It's better. Q is the same. Draw an O here. And then finish it off. R is in the half-width group. This is one letter I find very easy to get too wide. Knife right, come down, knife right. Create your slab at the bottom. Then start over here. Connect everything. Come down and stop right before you join. Then get a clean line straight there. And then flatten your pen and go for your serif. Let me try R one more time. You want to keep this straight and keep the letter thin. That's better. Let me show you what we're doing here at the end of R. We have our 15-degree pen angle and we're coming down right here. And then just before we get here, you flatten to 0 and out like that. So you just had this tiny little serif here. S, you've seen it before in the italic capitals. Keep that round. Try it one more time. See if I can get a good one. Make sure you keep your pen angle at 15 here. I've forgotten to do that now twice. There's our S. T is in the 4/5 width group. 45. Create a little line here. Come across. Come up a bit. Then you're going to do what you always do. You knife right. Join from the center and create the serif. U, join from both sides. Come down straight. Come up enough. And you can always do what you do on N, where you do a dry run with your pen. Just like this. And then create your serif at the center of it. Do what you do on R, where you create that little flattening serif where you flat out to 0 degrees. V, create your slab. Again, to keep to the right of that serif, use the corner of your pen. Try and keep it symmetrical since it's not slanted. W, it's almost easier than the italic capital W because you're using like the same stroke form for the serifs over and over. So we're going to create a slab, keep to the right of this, use the corner of your pen here. Then don't go up fully, just partly here. Use the corner of your pen and create a serif here. And join it from both sides and then cut across. So this is like effectively getting blocked by this third stroke here. And then place the serif so that these two strokes, 2 and 4, will be parallel. Let me try W again. It's not a perfect one. And then you can fill in whatever didn't get done with your pen. Now remember, W is along with M in the wider width group, so they're wider than they are tall. So you can make these nice and wide. And remember, you have the big V shape here, and you have obviously like 2 V's here. So keep these letters wide. Just like V is wide, keep these wide. We're almost at the end. X, you can use a slab. Join it from both sides, come down, knife right. Do what you do on all the letters where you join from the center, create the slab. This is the hardest part in my opinion, getting that placed right. I didn't do it right. See how I had to curve inward because I had placed it wrong? You can do a lot of runs with your pen that are dry. And then when you're ready to write, you actually do the line. Let me try it again. Oh well. An X is one of the harder letters. It just takes a lot of time. Y is in the 4/5 width group. Create our slab, keep to the right of it. Then we're going to create our other slab, keep to the left of this one. Come down, knife right, and create the slab on the bottom. Z, start down a bit, just a tiny bit. Then pick up your pen here, put it at 0 degrees, and come across so that these are parallel. Okay, I didn't do it perfectly, but that's the concept. Then back 15 degrees, and just almost inverse that stroke. Now, as you can see, I'm leaning this way with my Z because these are not perfectly straight lines, okay? If you have this here and at the same point this stroke starts and this and at the same point this stroke ends, then you'll have a straight Z. Okay, so that's what we're going for. The Roman capitals, you don't have any slant on them. Let's try it again. If you end up making this too wide, this center stroke, what you end up having to do is to come across like this, right? Like way over, and it makes this stroke really thin. So the thinner you have this letter, the thicker that center stroke will be. See? So you don't want to make it too thin, but you also definitely don't want to make it too thick. There are all the serifs. There are all the stroke forms. The main takeaway is the serifs are slightly different, and the letters are going to be slightly more square. So you can see C is hopefully just more square than the italic capital C. But that's it for this episode. In the description of this video, I will be telling you whether I have a 6th episode out or not. So I'm debating about doing a 6th episode of this series where I'm just going to look at some cool scripts and not write them. And you'll see in the description whether I decided to do that or not. Thanks for watching.